Morning YouTube, welcome back. Just thought I'd take you with me on a short ride, talk a little bit more about the bike if you're interested in getting one of these Triumph Bonnevilles. So I'm just warming her up and we'll set off. New addition to the bike there. I've just got a little tool roll which I've added on to this pannier rail there, left over from my Harley Davidson days. I think it looks quite good there in brown. Yeah, very pleased with that. Okay. There we go. So it's another cold day here in the UK, January. It's quite early in the morning. Alright then, well, should you get one of these older Triumph Bonnevilles compared to a new one? This is just following on from a video I did the other day about anyone thinking about a Triumph and what they should get if they want to just save a little bit of money. Having owned this bike for a year now, I can say that I'm very pleased with this bike. Obviously I was looking at the new Triumphs, the Street Scrambler, but ended up getting this one and saved myself quite a lot of money. As you can see, we're on a busy A road here, and she gets well up to speed, no problem. No problem at all. More than enough power, 59 brake horsepower, which for the real world on UK roads is more than enough. 68 newton meters of torque just to pull you along, and you could just ride that wave of torque. Really nice. She handles very well. I wouldn't say that this is a super twisty road, but there's some nice sweeping bends. She does handle phenomenally well, especially as she's 230 kilos, which is on the upper end of the heavy scale. I think the newer liquid cooled Triumphs, they're anywhere between 216 to 220 kilos, so slightly lighter, slightly more nimbler. This feels like a very substantial bike underneath you when you're riding it. You do feel like you're on a proper big bike. So for that, I love it. But she's moving lovely through these bends here, and the roads are pretty greasy and shitty today, and you know, I feel quite confident on her. I am running knobbly tyres because I just like that scrambler look. She is a Triumph Scrambler, but I'm not really sure somebody of my skill set could scramble her. Maybe a little bit of off-road, green laning, fire trails, that sort of thing, but nothing too serious. However, I have watched other YouTube videos where enduro riders have taken this bike and scrambled it, and they make it look very, very easy. I couldn't do it though. So yeah, if you do want to save some money, I would definitely encourage you to have a look at these used older Triumph Bonnevilles. Like I've said in the previous video, you can pick these up for anywhere between kind of £5,000 and £6,500 UK pounds, and the ones I've seen have all been in really, really good condition. This one was in very good condition when I bought it, and the low mileage as well. This only had like four and a bit thousand on it when I bought it. And the people that buy these bikes are usually the kind of people that look after them as well. So yeah, just have a look and see what's out there. I think you'd be surprised. Obviously there's no ABS, no traction control, and this bike doesn't have a fuel gauge, but it's got a fuel light. As you can see, it's just come on here, so I need to go and fill up. I'm not sure the tank size. I think it's around 12 or 13 litres. I'd have to look that up. But you can get kind of 150 miles on a tank. It's okay. I've taken this bike on a long trip and it did pretty well. Nothing special, nothing to write home about, but it's okay. It's about average. So the gearbox on this then, it's a very snickety snick, as they say. You get a nice clunk into first, and then the rest of the gears you just get some nice positive clicks that let you know when you've shifted. Nothing worse than a mushy shifter when you're not sure if you've shifted or not. So yeah, very positive in the gearbox, very nice. Throttle response on this, when I bought it, I'll be honest, at lower speeds it was a little bit snatchy, but I'd heard that about these, and even on the new Triumphs, things like these Speed Twin 1200, I've heard that throttle can be a little bit snatchy. I put a booster plug on this, and it seems to have sorted that out. That snatchiness is all but gone. The only time it gets a little bit snatchy on me now is I'm like going through a corner and there's bumps in the road, and the bumps unsettle the bike slightly, and it can be a little bit jerky then. But other than that, I don't get any sort of hunting or surging anymore. So that's a quick fix, quite good. I've also replaced the air filter on this bike, and also removed the snorkel to make it breathe a bit better. And yeah, I can notice it. You get a little bit more induction noise, and it just seems to be a much crisper kind of throttle response. What's this guy doing? So yeah, with a few little tweaks and modifications, you can get this bike running very, very nice. And living with this bike, I mean, generally it's okay. because it's a Triumph, because she's black, and because there's lots of metal parts, I'm a bit OCD about cleaning this bike. I don't really like it when she's covered in muck and salt, especially in the winter. I ride all year round, so I am pretty precious, and I do keep on top of my maintenance, chains and all that kind of good stuff. Probably clean the bike 2 to 3 times a week. It is a bit of a pain, but it's just what I like to do. The only thing I'd say is the weights might bother some of you. She's pretty heavy just to push around. She's absolutely fine riding. She's not, you don't feel that weight at all. It's just when you're pushing her around, and obviously where I live, my drive is kind of sloped and it's got gravel, so it's a bit of a mission for me. It does give me a workout, but yeah, a bit of a mission. So it's just something to consider. There are a few niggles on this bike which I don't like, but I plan on doing a separate video on that, you know, like a lot of other people do, the 5 dislikes. So I might do something like that. There's just 1 or 2 things I wish could be better, but other than that, I'm very pleased with her. She's lovely, and she's a real looker. She turns heads. Every time I stop, I get people wanting to talk to me about this bike, which is very complimentary and very nice. So as you can see, I'm just doing some very slow stuff here, just going through town here, and she's absolutely fine. So I've just got to run some errands. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next one and continue the discussion on whether you should get one of these. Alrighty. There we go.